Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you lot are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that, and hopefully you are, because odds are you're a Chelsea fan watching this. Maybe not, hey, hopefully not. I hope all kinds of football fans watch this channel. But if you are a Chelsea fan, you're going to inherently be stoked that we have bested the champions last night in the Premier League. 2-1 win against Manchester City. Incredible scenes, and I do want to talk about that game a little bit today in reference to a couple of topics. But welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Chelsea, where I go across football news media, consolidate stuff regarding Chelsea, present it to you guys, the viewer, give you my opinion on it, offer my opinion, and more importantly, get yours down in the comments section below. Now, as per the norm, I do want to talk about 3 subjects in this video, but to be honest, man, there's just one kind of real piece of news that I want to talk about, which is a player that was linked to Chelsea, which I'm interested in getting your thoughts and opinions on, and that is David Alaba of Bayern Munich, who's only got 1 year left on his deal and is in his prime. Could he be what Chelsea are looking for? He has been linked to Chelsea. The Athletic reported on him, or The Athletic reported on Chelsea making an inquiry about him. So, you know, there's a link there. And I want to get your thoughts on that. But I also want to talk about Chelsea's performance against Manchester City again. And I want to talk about, most notably, their offensive metrics, their XG, and how much more positive it was in comparison to the performance against Aston Villa. I know Man City offered more space, but still, it was a coming-of-age performance in many ways, man, so I'm really stoked about that. And I want to talk about Andreas Christensen, who had a superb performance for me. Really good, man. Chelsea defenders having superb performances is something that I've almost forgotten, but could Andreas Christensen be born again to this player that he was looking like a while ago? Maybe. Anyway, hopefully this video is going to be fun and informative, and you, hopefully, will enjoy it. But let me take a second to tell you about the best platform to find out news, stats, and fixtures and results, and that is OneFootball. The OneFootball app is insightful, informative, user-friendly, and free, man. I'm leaving a link in the top of the description so you can go and check out OneFootball. Like I said, it consolidates everything you need to know about Chelsea Football Club and football in general. If you want transfer news, gossip, updates, stats, all of that good gear, you get it on OneFootball. It gives you updates as well and alerts. I use it all the time, and I urge you guys to use it too. So be sure you click on the link in the top of the description and go check out OneFootball. Alright, let's get on with it. Woo, it is hot, man, and if I'm honest, I'm a little bit hungover. So before we talk about Chelsea's positive performance statistically and what it means for Frank Lampard's Blues, and before we also praise Andreas Christensen and pose the question to you guys of could he be the foundational figure in Chelsea's defence moving forwards, let's talk about David Alaba. Obviously, like a sort of Galactico level defender, man. David Alaba only turned 28 2 days ago, so he is fresh, he's in his prime, he is a versatile defender, man. He can play CDM, centre back, left back, and if there's one recurring theme that we've seen with Frank Lampard's Chelsea and in what he likes and what he desires, that is versatility. And the Austrian Bayern Munich player is that personified, basically. Chelsea have a problem at left back. He can play left back incredibly well to a good defensive level. That's what Chelsea need. Marcos Alonso's played well for Lampard, but let's be real, they're still looking for that left back. If Chili B's gonna be too many P's, leave him alone. Get off the Chili B train. I'm on and off, mate. I don't know if I'm coming and going anymore. I don't know how I feel about it. But if David Alaba is available for like a reasonable fee, then I am fully on that train. I'm going to the front and I'm driving. 1 year left on his deal as well. Bayern Munich might be inclined to sell. Obviously, they've been playing Alphonso Davies at left back, and they've moved Alaba into centre back, who's played very well there, by the way. But maybe they see him as they can make some money on him, and maybe he won't re-sign. Who knows what's happening there? The Athletic had reported that Chelsea have made inquiries about him, so they are interested. I went a bit Yoda there. Interested we are. Okay. So yeah, I know him as an incredibly impressive player. I've seen him play loads of great games at left back, and obviously we've seen him recently at centre back. He's still young enough, but he's still senior enough. He's like just that age, do you know what I mean? That's like just right. Anyway, I'm keen to get your thoughts and opinions on David Alaba, so get down in the comment section below. Would you have him as a left back if available, if he doesn't sign a new deal for Bayern, if Chelsea can buy him for, say, I don't know, 40 million or less? I'd be keen. Right then, before we praise Andreas Christensen, or as my friends on the London is Blue podcast call him, the Danish Prince, let's talk about Chelsea's performance against Manchester City yet again. Oh, let's wring all we can out of that game and completely neglect the fact how Liverpool are champions of the Premier League. Check out this stat graphic from understat.com. Against Manchester City, Chelsea had 98% of the game's chances. It took a wonder goal from Kevin De Bruyne to convert. Granted, Sterling hit the post, but Chelsea kept them to a really low XG. In fact, the XG they had was 0.63 to Chelsea's 4.21. Chelsea having 15 shots to their 11, 10 shots on target to their 2. We had 5 times the amount of shots on target than Manchester City, champions of England, coached by Pep Guardiola. What does this mean? Well, it's quantifying the fact how Chelsea had an incredibly good game and they dominated without dominating the ball. Now, this is important to me because when people said Chelsea dominated against Aston Villa because they had all the possession, no, we just had all the possession. I'm not saying Villa dominated, but it's certainly we didn't dominate, and our XG reflected that. We actually had a lower XG than Aston Villa, even though we won. But here, Chelsea were really good value for the win against Manchester City, and it was a different way of playing, a different approach. Just because you concede some of the possession and concede the ball doesn't mean you're a negative counter-attacking side. Chelsea really imposed themselves onto Manchester City in that game and were very impressive in many ways. It was sure there was taking, opportunities and counter-attacking, but also, they were doing superb offensive patterns and passages of play. It was great. It's important to me because it shows Frank Lampard's not so dogmatic and philosophical in playing direct or possession football. He wants to try different things, and he did. He can do it. Chelsea can do it. This team as well. It's kind of like the bunch of the Lightly lads at the moment mixed with the youngsters, but he's going to build an incredible side with the new signings and with these young players that are developing, and with just the squad players who have shown they're worthy of the Frank Lampard project. It is superb. You add a left back, who knows, David Alaba. You add Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, who knows, maybe even add a Kai Havertz. And this Chelsea team could maybe challenge for the Premier League next season. I've just filmed a collab with George and we spoke about that very subject. It's a hot topic, maybe a sweeping statement, but an exciting one. Anyway, I'm keen to get your thoughts on that as well, how you feel about the performance yesterday. Let's talk about Andreas Christensen. The young Dane is a Chelsea Academy player, not from very young, but he does hail from the Chelsea Academy, had a very positive loan away in Borussia Mönchengladbach, where he played centre-half, played in central defensive midfield. He's very cultured. He had a really good stint, obviously, under Antonio Conte, but for me, he made that high-profile mistake against Barcelona in the Champions League, where he passed the ball across his goal. The kind of thing you're told not to do when you're 4 years old. For my money, he hasn't really been the same ever since. He's come in and out of the side, but there was a time when Andreas Christensen looked the absolute boy for Chelsea. Like, he looked like the one. Pep Guardiola latched onto him after that game. I'm always talking about, like, when he had an excellent game against City. He's a ball-playing, good defensive centre-back. But he kind of went off the boil, and I kind of just forgot about him. I've always respected his talent and respected his ability, but for me, it did just sort of fade away a little bit. Now, yesterday, again, against Manchester City, was a kind of coming-of-age performance for many players. I think he was really good in that game, and he took a whack in the face early doors as well from a ball that he looked pretty dazed from, but he still managed to have an amazing game. I think Chelsea should seriously consider having Andreas Christensen as first choice in the team sheet in terms of centre-back partnership. Now, Rudiger played pretty darn well as well yesterday, and prior to that he'd played pretty darn badly against Aston Villa, so he seems to be fluctuating. Maybe him and Christensen are an excellent partnership. waiting to flourish and bloom, or maybe it's going to be Christensen and Tomori or Zuma. But one thing seems pretty positive, and that is Andreas Christensen looks like he could staple that defence. Whether Chelsea are still inclined to bring someone else in, I don't know. Hell, who knows? Maybe they do bring in David Alaba and they rotate him as a left back and centre back, and he could one day play in the middle with Andreas Christensen. I am not saying David Alaba is definitely coming to Chelsea. It's a theoretical thing. Anyway, I just wanted to give him some kudos because it was a great performance, and I think he could be a massive Chelsea moving forward. But what do you guys think? Get down in the comment section below and express your thoughts and opinions on everything I've spoken about in this video today. I'll be down there looking at your messages, liking them, and might be replying if I've got something to say, but I want to see what you have to say, so make sure you do go comment. Make sure you like the video if you've liked the video, and subscribe to Football Therapy if you are new, man. And why not click on the OneFootball link in the top of the description? Go check that out, you might like it. What else? That's probably it. So that's it from me, you lot. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me baby.